Catching my breath. Just hit some mad burpees right now, so I could come correct with you guys. Nothing like raising your vibe. Let's see, let's get this set up here. These will get better as this whole setup gets better. That's why I'm doing these a lot, just so I could get more accustomed, find out what I like, what I need to change, what I need to adjust. So far, I'm loving it. Super cool. All right, almost there. See if we get some folks to join. Let's see. Damn, those are cool. Those felt good. I've been doing a bunch of burpees lately. It's so cool. No, that's not the wrong. Oh my goodness. We'll get it. We'll get it. This is all part of it. This is all part of the fun part. There we go. Ah, there it is. I wonder if I could hide the chat over here. Getting the technical side. Getting the technical side dialed in. What's this? What's this button do? Type just some messages such as all messages. Learn more. I don't want to learn more. How do I not learn more? Okay. Oh, got it. Is there any way to... Okay. Oh, I see. We'll figure this out. Oh, no, I don't want no filter. Stop it. Share if you guys want to share it, if anybody's in here yet. It shows that there's somebody in here, but I think it's me because I'm in here on my computer. Oh, there's so much to learn. Oh, I can do the chat down here. Okay. Well, anyways, let's see. We'll learn as we go. So we're talking about how I lost 45 pounds, how I lost the weight. I didn't know that. Honestly, I at the beginning, I've said it before. I didn't. First of all, I didn't know I was overweight. I knew I wasn't fit. I knew that, I'd take off my shirt and I had an upside down light bulb. I had a belly. I didn't like the way I looked. That's for sure. But I didn't know, hey, you're fat. You're not looking right. And then that's when I started kind of getting clarity as to hey, you're not even looking like a man. I want to represent what a man looks like. And to me, you're not looking like a man, bro. That's me talking to me. You got boobs. You got a belly. You're the protector. You're the one that's supposed to protect your castle. Well, you ain't protecting nothing looking like that. And that's when I started to realize okay, this ain't right. And even then, I knew that's when I was I didn't think I was fat, but I wasn't looking right. That's about as far as that went. And then came the day where I was just surrendered and completely just figured okay, I'm broken. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm done with this. I'm just going to be myself, which is my current self right now. And this is the way it's going to be. This is the way I am. There's nothing I could do. I've tried everything. I'm cool here. I'm grateful for what I have. Let's just keep it going here. I've told that story before. I think my journey or something a couple of videos back from when this one's going up. And to stay on topic here, a little bit more tight knit here. How I lost the weight is by starting the curiosity of the mindset of raising my vibration, raising my frequency, raising my mood, keeping my mood at a high rate. That led to me successfully doing that. I'm very proud of that. I was able to start the push-ups in the back of my 4Runner on the bumper. Started there. Hey, this feels good. Hey, this feels good. Hey, this feels good. Started stringing a bunch of days together, 3-4 months. And then that's when it switched. Hey, I keep on hearing this whole track your food, track your food, track your food. And I was I don't know about tracking my food. I searched it a little bit, track your macros. I didn't understand. It's what are how do you track macros? What are macros? It was very, very confusing to me. I had no idea what that meant at all. So I was a little bit but I like the progress that I've made because I've never made progress like this. So this is super cool. I don't know what these are. I don't know what macros are, but I know what diet is, and I know that you're supposed to tracking macros somehow means eating the right amount. I think I'm not eating the right amount. The only diet I knew was eat less. That's the only one that I knew. As far as the opposite I was doing, which was eat whatever you want, how much as you want, whenever you want, whatever's there. I was okay, well, you know what? I'm just gonna start eating less. That was that first step, which okay, I don't want to get off topic. That was my first step. That was my first eat less. My step one, my baby step. That's why I talk about baby steps a lot and why they work. So you just gotta start. You gotta start with whatever you think. I'm pretty sure my conscience is telling me go that way. Okay, well just start. I'm gonna go research and overconsume and take all kinds of information and no, just apply with the little bit of curiosity that just start. You'll figure it out along the way. It's the whole figure out, try. Oh, I was doing it wrong, but you wouldn't have got to I was doing it wrong if you wouldn't have tried. Now, if you would have over here and overlearn, oh, I'm gonna take this class, I'm gonna take this course, I should go here, I should get this degree. Hey, you're wasting time. Just start. It's a lot more practical to just start. But as you start, go down the rabbit hole. Is this working? Am I making progress? Start talking to people. I've tried this. I'm like, oh, okay, no, I don't. That's not it. That's this. Adjust as you go. That's what happened with me. So I started eating less. What did I start doing? I started taking off. I would serve a plate, whatever, like pasta, spaghetti, and then one spoonful. Get rid of it. That's how it started. Next day we had beans, rice, and steak or whatever. I would 1 spoonful of beans, 1 spoonful of rice, or 1 spoonful of meat. Done. It was 1 spoonful less of each item that was on my plate, which that's how my diet started. Give me 1 second here. Then I think I did that for maybe a couple of months. And then I went to like, okay, well, I saw what? I saw the P word, right? I saw progress. This is working. Oh, goodness. We'll get this. We'll get this. This is working. It's like, okay, cool. It was 1 spoonful less, 1 spoonful less. I started that. That was already eating less. Put together with doing push-ups all day long, which was I had already committed to that, and I was already making progress with that. I kept my vibe up high. Now I was eating less because I was taking 1 spoonful off. So right away, I started noticing. Within a couple of days, like, whoa, I was just a little bit less inflamed, just a little bit less swollen. Can't say I stopped drinking sugar drinks or anything, because I had stopped drinking soda years ago, because I knew how unhealthy it was for me. So I'm a big soda drinker. I was growing up on the daily. It's just water. It's water, tea, coffee. Matter of fact, I'll take a drink of water now. Then, like I said, I did that for a couple months and I saw some progress. Then curiosity, again, still not wanting to, out of fear, out of thinking, man, I'm just gonna get more confused learning how to track macros, or trying to learn or go down that rabbit hole. I just figured, you know what, if I buy smaller plates, I could measure my food there. Again, I didn't want to disrupt really the kitchen and kind of how my wife would make meals and her cooking, which, I didn't want to bother anybody with my journey. I always like to be very practical. Don't be loud about what I'm doing. Just do it. It was always me, especially because it was difficult for me to make progress. I was always just kind of there, get it to level 3, level 4. So talking about it was, I had gone through that phase many years ago. I was like, just don't talk about it. Just do your best. And then remember, I had recently just surrendered and said, I'm done. I'll just coast it here. Last thing I was going to talk about, check out this diet, whatever. So I was like, just buy smaller plates. I'm not going to hurt nobody by eating less. So I had found in the cupboards, I found these smaller plates. I was like, perfect. Whatever I could fit in here. And I did that. So it was like 2 items. I had 2 plates. It was like, okay, I could put my beans and rice in here. No, it was one like kind of bigger plate. It's like beans, rice, meat, like a bowl, like if you'd go to like some sort of a restaurant and they give you like a rice and protein bowl. That was it. Then I figured, hey, let me break it up. Like, okay, I could do protein in this bowl. Again, it was just a little bit more curiosity on the macros, and I'd hear the guys that I followed, talk about it. It was like, God, and I'd get suggestions, and I'd watch videos a little bit here and there, and it would say, like, okay, mostly protein, and then fats and carbs over here. It's like, I think, so it'd be like, I'd have my, whatever, if it was chicken or steak or pork or whatever, that would be in one small bowl, but about as big as my fist. I have small hands. And then the second one would be um, rice or beans or whatever we're having on the side. And that was it. Then I did that for another 2, 3, 4 months. I rolled like that for a while. And I started losing a little bit more weight. That's where I started like, hey, this is pretty cool. Now remember, I've said it a bunch of times. I did not do the diet for the weight loss. It was always for the discipline. That's what I had heard. Just how I had learned that the exercise wasn't to get jacked, to get ripped, to become a bodybuilder. The exercise was to keep my vibration high, to keep my mood high, which it did, which gave me enough discipline, gave me enough curiosity, I should say. Like, maybe I should start this whole food diet thing. And I did. It was May 3rd. It was on my son's 20th birthday. And I did that for, like I said, one spoonful off for like 3 months. And then I did the small bowls for another 2, 3 months. So we're like 6 months, 8 months into it, something like that, of just eating less of whatever was being cooked. And I remember one day we were driving. My wife's very athletic, model body, looks awesome. She's always been athletic. Um, so any kind of like nutrition or exercise question, I'd always go to her. And I were driving one day, and I was like, "Hey, what? I've heard about this thing. They call it macros. Have you ever heard about it?" She's like, "Oh yeah, yeah, I have." Casual, like whatever. I was like, you know what? I try to learn about it a little bit. I try to kind of understand it. I don't get it. It's confusing. It looks like it's something that I'd like to try, that I want to do, but I just don't know how to. I don't know how to figure it out. Anytime I start digging into it, I get confused with the whole like grams, ounces, I labels. I don't know, and I kind of want to try it. And I think what happened is that she saw that I was already making progress my way, which was the very simple first step: get the ball rolling, eat less, baby steps, consistently for 5, 6 months, which is why I think she kind of like right away pulled out her phone. She's like, yeah, here, let me watch a couple videos. I think I got some that I watched in the past that was about this. So as we're driving, I don't know where we're going, but she pulled it out, starts watching a couple videos, and like, oh yeah, this is easy. Hold on, let me get you a scale. Ordered me a scale. Got you a scale. It's on its way. I'll probably get here tonight. I think the same day. He's like, yeah, it's pretty simple. All you do is like, you measure like this. You do this. You download an app. I already got it. It looks pretty simple. Matter of fact, her and my daughter were already casually using it. It's like, really? It's like, you understand it already? She's like, yeah, it goes like this. And then I asked her questions that I had already, like where I was like bottlenecked, like this is where I get confused. And I asked her, like, what do they mean by like grams? Is it like grams on the label, grams weighed, grams raw, grams cooked? She broke it all down. She already knew it. She understood it. She knew it. It's like, wow. And she broke it down to me. She made it so simple, so basic for me to understand. Yeah, you just go like this. You scan it. You do this, 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 this. This is the app. By the time that whole trip that we were doing was over, we were home. I downloaded the app. It's we use Chronometer, free version, easy to use. Downloaded it, inputted my information, which was cake, age, level of activity, height, weight, goals, and then of course you take a while to sit there on the couch and just kind of go through all the buttons. What does this do? What does that do? How does this? Some stuff is a little bit more advanced, more, link up this to this. I just watched a few tutorials. Like, no, I just want to keep it as basic and simple where I could just consistently start right now. Started experimenting. Then everybody that I would learn from would always say there's a learning curve. And I'll harp on that one too. I'll pass the information over to whoever watches this. There is a learning curve. There is like, oh, I see. But it's a really cool learning curve because you start learning how your body works. For the most part, we all function the same way. We all need the right amount of nutrients to work correctly. But you'll start understanding how your body works. That's why I would always trip out, and I do the same thing now. That I would always trip out that anybody who would talk about it would never share their numbers, or if they ever did, like this many calories, this many grams of protein, and they would always would say, or often, not always, but always would say, or often would say, I'm sorry, um, but don't go with what I'm eating. Do your own thing. Figure out what you eat, and it's so true. It's 100% true. Don't if you were to, and I even like stop myself from saying it like, oh, 65 grams of chicken, 1 cup of rice, da da da. I don't like. I stop myself like, no, no, no. Okay, don't think that that's what it is. That's just what it is for me currently, for my goals, for what I've been doing for a year and a half. Don't start eating like this because it doesn't match where you're at. And I've already tweaked it a little bit. Like, okay, if I pull back the carbs just a little bit, what happens? Oh my gosh, I'm so tired and sleepy. Okay, no, 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 don't pull. I gotta leave them here at about this much carbs. It's like, okay, no, I don't feel okay. Cool, I'm good. We're here with energy. Cool. Now, how do I feel like this? Like, man, I feel so like just like I don't, like I'm not making any progress. Like I got ones was sleepy, one was just progress, and in my body. And that was, adjusting the protein. Like, make sure you got to stay here with the protein. You don't want to over protein. You don't want to over carb, but you don't want to under carb. You don't want to under protein. You got to have the fats. It's protein, fats, and carbs. Those are the three things that we measure when we're doing our macros. And they're all the different types of fuel and properties and components that they have to make the body function. I don't know much, if anything. So I don't want to start spitting like, oh, this does this. All I know is what's happened to me with what I've experimented with. And again, you don't want to talk about too much. So I do it like this, and this, because then it'll be like, yeah, I want to do it like that too. Sounds fun. Like, no, it's just because I've messed with it about a year and 4 months. Not even, because a year and 4 months since I started eating less. So really, like maybe 6 months since I started, or 5 since I started tracking my macros. So I know nothing. I'm still in the learning, because even today I was talking to my wife and I was like, hey, I'm at a point where I still, like, I don't know if this is fat or just loose skin. Like, I'm down to my high school weight. According to the app, I'm at 15% body fat. I don't know how long to leave this before I just assume that it's skin or go back. It's like, okay, you know what? I don't want to pull back the food anymore. I think I'm pretty low where I'm at. I think I got enough. I have messed with like pulling it back even more. See what happens. And that's when I start feeling like, damn, even coffee won't do it. And it's a different kind of tired. It's not a sleepy tired. It's more like, man, I ain't got no more fuel. I ain't got no more energy. Even like if you drink coffee or anything like that, a power drink, now you're like energized tired, if that makes sense. So it's a super cool learning curve. You start understanding how your body works, and you start putting together your lifestyle and what you want to do. And more than anything, it goes back to the fundamental, which is I diet for discipline. Even to right now, it's like the reason why I track my food is because I love the discipline that it gives me. The discipline to care about what I'm eating, to pay attention, to not just eat because even if I go visit my wife Suhei's mom, is like my mother-in-law's like just because there's deliciousness, my lifestyle is like, yeah, of course, I'm gonna take advantage of these blessings, but I'm not gonna overconsume. My parents are visiting. My mom makes my favorite meals. I'm not gonna say no. I'm not gonna eat that. That's me. That's just my lifestyle. And you're building a lifestyle. I come from my thing is I want to build a lifestyle that's sustainable, that I'm proud of, that it becomes my purpose. It's part of me, becoming the version that I respect and admire. I would admire me if I had the discipline to know how to eat correctly and not overindulge and not like tear it up all the time. Also, not saying no to these moments that eventually will come to an end. You got to be able to stand your ground and like, yeah, of course, I'm not gonna have this much like I used to, and not make a big deal about it. I'm like, no, it's because of this. I don't need like that. No, no, no. Just know how to casually wiggle through the whole conversation in the scenario and know how to change patterns, how to change conversations, how to interrupt and move your way through the conversation to where you keep it going at your pace and you stop being the subject of, oh, you don't eat like that no more. It's like, no, no, let's just kind of go. Let's get, this is delicious. I want to eat this. Thanks, mom. Thanks, this. Thanks, mom-in-law. Let's, yeah, this is delicious. Hey, what'd you do today? Hey, how's that thing going over here? Hey, did they get that whole thing fixed with your car? Break the pattern, change the conversation, wiggle your way through that. Now, staying back on subject, I'm telling you. So, ended up being that I lost, again, I wasn't doing it to lose weight, but it is a marker. It is a receipt. You go to buy cool shoes, you don't show off the receipt, you show off the shoes. You don't go out, you got this really cool car that you bought, you don't go flashing the pink slip, you show off the car. Cool that you have the pink slip, that means you paid it off, it's yours. It's not yours in the banks, not yours in the finance organization. It's yours 100. Unless, and I'm not getting into that because that's just that has nothing to do with what we're talking about. The whole concept I was using is the whole receipts and shoes. You don't buy the shoes to, yes, look at the receipt. You buy the shoes because you really want the shoes. Same with this. I track my food to gain discipline. The receipt is that I lost weight, but it's proof of the work, proof of the discipline that I gained. I lost 45 pounds. Feels good. Didn't know that I needed to lose that much. Turns out that I weigh what I weighed in high school. That's a trip, 180, 135. I may pull it back to 130 just for fun, just to see what happens. I did some adjustments, not so much on the food, but on the movement. Added some burpees in the middle of the day, changed my burpees a little bit, went from one style to one that wins me a little bit more, not so much like tires me, like, oh, I'm tired, but more like winded, like, whew. So adjusted that, see what happens in a day or two. I already feel it, just started a day or two ago. Now, next thing I wanted to talk about. Sorry, got a little distracted here. What would I have changed in my, looking back right now in a year and 4 months and I lost 45 pounds? If it's one of those where I would think if I had to change something, I probably, then I'll explain. If I had to change something, I should have just started tracking my macros from the moment I said, I'm gonna start tracking my food. On my son's birthday, my 20th birthday, when I just started eating one spoonful less. If I would have started tracking my macros that day, I would have learned so much more sooner. I would have learned what I learned sooner. Therefore, I'd probably be more ahead right now. I probably would have already got to 130, figured out what I needed to do, whether I liked it, whether I did it, whether it was something I needed to do. I don't know, because I can't go back and try it. What I do know is that I'm exactly where I need to be. That chapter of my life, I had to go through that. I had to go through that baby step of, I'm going to eat less. Because now I could talk about it. Now I could hopefully encourage and inspire anybody out there, to like, hey, it sounds confusing, the whole macro thing, whatever. I don't even know how to say it. I could tell you, hey, you could do what I did. Just start eating less. Don't interrupt the kitchen. Don't interrupt the cook. Don't interrupt the grocery shopping. Don't start all of a sudden, okay, you want to start juicing, okay, you want to start buying all kinds of vegetables, okay, you want to start and make it a big old hype thing that, flash in the pan, goes up fast, comes down fast. You can start there. That's what I did. Here I am, 45 pounds. And I hella disciplined with a lot of confidence. Because with the more discipline you have, the more confidence you're gifted. So I had to go through that journey. I had to go through that chapter in my life, which is a beautiful chapter to say I just started eating less. About 4 months. Then after that, I was like, 1 spoonful less. How simple is that? How simple is that? Just whatever I would serve myself, 1 spoon, bang, goes back. Or in the trash, or whatever. Put it back in, we won't even say in the trash. What was that? What was I saying? I'm just returning it back to the planet. Ultimately, it goes in that bag. The bag gets opened up. It goes into a landfill. It goes into the dirt. It's going to go back there anyways. Just taking a different route. That's it. And it was a cool chapter because I could talk about it now. Not like you could go that way. Like, this should happen. No, I went that way. And then from there, I went to some smaller bowls. Didn't interrupt the kitchen. And then after that, I started messing slowly and learning and messing around with the macros and started eating whatever was being made. I'd input it and like, oh, I could eat this much. Oh, like, well, this is confusing. How do you track this? This is not on the thing. This is something custom that you made, which led me to where I'm at now, which is, well, this would be super easy if I just eat the same thing every day. Chicken, rice, vegetables, chicken, rice, vegetables. I know exactly how much chicken. I know exactly how much rice for lunch and dinner, what I have for breakfast. There it is, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I know exactly what I'm eating. What about pizza Saturday? Well, let me input that. Let me get the information on that. How do you make it? I'll put some effort in that. My daughter inputted the information of the ingredients that they use. I tracked out my pizza. Like, oh, okay, cool. So I eat this for breakfast, this for lunch, so I can have pizza for dinner and still hit my numbers. Perfect. So now I know what I eat Sunday through Saturday. Sunday through Friday, it's the exact same thing for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Cake. I don't have to even pull out my tracker anymore because I know how much it is. I do pull out my scale. And even if I didn't have my scale, I've done it so many times already that I could kind of ballpark that. That's how much so many grams is. Yeah, that's how much so much cups is. Cool. That's where I'm at right now. Why? Because I went through that journey that I had to go to. Those chapters, those baby steps of just 1 spoonful left. I'm sorry, 1 spoonful less. Day one. For 2-3 months, just 1 spoonful less. Even if we were to have like burgers and fries, it's like 1 bite less. I'd leave 1 bite of my burger, and I'd leave like whatever, I know, a fry and a half. Sounds silly, like that's not gonna make a difference. I'm not doing it to lose weight. I'm doing it for the discipline. Be disciplined enough to leave 2 fries and a bite of your burger. You know that last bite's bomb. You know that last fries are legit. They hit. I'd leave it. For what? That's not gonna make a difference. It is in the discipline department. And it did. You'd feel good. Like, why? Because you'd gain discipline and you'd get gifted confidence. So the next meal, you'd be that much more disciplined. If I did it for that, I could do it for this. Which led to, I'm gonna get smaller bowls. Which led to, let me research this macro thing a little bit more. Which led to, I could just eat the same thing every day and it'd be so much more simple. Are you cool with that? Hell yeah. I love simplicity. I love putting systems in place where they're on autopilot and I don't have to worry about them. I'm hitting all my targets. Love doing that too. And I love making progress. Because all my life I was stuck not making progress. I couldn't make progress. I'd get it to level 2 and 3 and then it would no more progress after that. That was the story of my life. All of a sudden, I raised my frequency by doing exercise all day long, and boom, that scale, progress. I get the chills every time I talk about it. This is what it is to make progress. This is awesome. Then I start messing around with the food for the discipline. It's like progress. There it goes. Like, oh my goodness, this never gonna stop. I will never stop exercising. I will never stop tracking my food because this is progress. This is what it tastes like. Oh my goodness, let me grab this discipline and confidence in high frequency, high vibration, high mood, and take it to other parts of my life. I'm a better pet owner. I'm a better husband. I'm a better son. I'm a better, everywhere I go, I'm a better shopper at the store, when at the grocery store. I'm a better gas pumper when I'm pumping gas. You just take a better version of you anywhere you go with whatever you do by just exercising every day and tracking your food. Yes. And we won't get into the waking up early. The only thing I was going to talk about today is how I lost 45 pounds. What would I do different? But really, the thing that I would do different, I wouldn't do. Because that was part of my journey. I had to go through that chapter. I had to go through the chapter of one spoonful less of each item on my plate, which then led to the smaller plates, which then led to tracking my macros finally, which then led to, let me eat the same thing every day just to make it really simple. And here we are. So that's what I wanted to talk about today. I don't know if anybody jumped in. I was trying to not look at anything that would pop up so I wouldn't get distracted in making the video. It doesn't look like anybody did. A couple people did. Said a couple hellos. I don't know if anybody's in here now. I'm trying to get used to this. Again, I really want to go live a lot more often. I think it's really fun. It's really cool. I'm able to kind of just, it's that sense of like, hey, this is really happening on the right now. I got a lot of cool ideas, a lot of good stuff that I'm putting together for the near future. And getting used to going live here with you is part of it, which will lead to the next step and the next step that's happening. So this whole interaction and coming here at the end, this is where I would just kind of scroll real quick. There's nothing to scroll, so we're good. But if there was, this is where we'd go into any questions that I could catch, any comments, anything that I could clear up. But of course, there is, like everything, a learning curve, and it's really cool to kind of be learning along the way. At the same time, what do I learn? I learn what I want to add, what I want to remove, what I want to get better at, all that good stuff. But that's going to do it for tonight. Thank you so much for stopping by. If you stumble across this video, make sure to sub. If you haven't, let's kick it. You can check out all my other videos. I post daily, shorts, long form. I try to post as much as I can, sometimes more than just once. I'm also on Instagram. Yeah, that's it. I don't want to ramble. I think we covered it. So there you go. I'll see you on the next one. Hopefully tomorrow. What's today? Today is Wednesday. I'm definitely going to post tomorrow. That's for sure. New posts went up today. I already got some in the chamber that'll probably go up either tonight or if not tomorrow. And I will try to, that's my trusty sidekick right here. She just had dinner. I'll try to go live tomorrow. But if not, I'll go live again sometime during the week. Other than that, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.